So I'm here with Chris McGilvray at Next Phase because he's too busy to come into KZSC. No, it's good. His work is going well. Chris is a videographer, and his company is sixfingerfilms.com if you want to go see his stuff. He's been on, the last time you came on was because you were curating the first annual mini fest of short films.
Yes.
And Chris put together a fabulous lineup, and it was at the Santa Cruz Museum of Art and History.
Yeah, totally.
With a bunch of great short filmmakers, a lot of them local, some of them not all.
It was pretty much all of them were local. Yeah, it was basically just an opportunity to, give the local community the opportunity to have their voices heard. Actually a lot of films that never make it into film festivals that are kind of just made, mostly for friends and family, personal consumption, that kind of stuff. And so we really wanted to kind of, open it up and give everybody the opportunity to have their voices heard and see, what is now happening out there with video.
Well, I salute you. It was great, and
it was a fun event.
The mission was fabulous, and I
Sure.
think that's how it turned out. It was successful. Hopefully, we'll get to do another one next year.
Yeah, I hope so. It was, it was mostly Brooke Bradford's thing. And
right.
I just came on board to kind of help her curate a lot of it. But no, it was pretty successful event. We're very happy with the turnout. I'm happy with the wide variety of films that we got.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we're here today to talk about your newest film that you made that will be premiering this Thursday at the Rio Theater, which will be a documentary festival.
Yes.
And you're the last film to be shown, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. It is the headliner, and the film's called Water for Santa Cruz. It is a short film that documents the journey to find alternatives to the desalination plant. We have a very interesting water supply shortage issue in Santa Cruz that most people know about. It's a very hot button topic. It's very, very important to the community. And, I ended up getting together with my father, who is somebody who's been heavily involved in the water issues in Santa Cruz for multiple years. It's been a real passion of his. He also has a water conservation company called Water, where he does some private consulting, both on the industrial side and also on the residential side. And I had just moved back to Santa Cruz after having lived over on the other side of the hill in San Francisco and Palo Alto for 5 years. And I came back, and we kind of got together as I had a little bit of time on my hands, and he started to tell me more and more about the water situation, and in particular the proposed desalination plant. And it's an extremely complicated issue, and I'd also never done an environmental documentary before. I'm a surfer. I love to hike, and so I absolutely love nature. I love the beautiful surroundings in Santa Cruz. It's one of the reasons that my wife and I wanted to move back here. But I'd never done anything that was kind of an environmental, social issue documentary. And I felt that it was a really interesting story that needed to be told. So we started working together on the film, kind of on and off, middle of February, and it's this massive concept. It's a very, very complicated issue. And so my father had been looking around for a while to try and find viable alternatives to this proposed desalination plant, because he's opposed to desalination plant. He's opposed to desalination in general. He just doesn't think that it's the right decision at this time. And so, we started to talk about, well, wait a minute, how are we going to be able to shape this into, say, a 10-minute film? And so what we decided to do was go around and film interviews with, we actually filmed 4 water experts in Santa Cruz, they're all locals, that have viable alternatives to desalination plant. We ended up using 3 of the alternatives and put them into the film. Because the argument against desalination has been a very strong argument, but it hasn't been that cohesive. I think one of the things a lot of people jump onto when they are pro-desal is that it seems like it's a project that has a very straightforward plan that could be executed upon and has goals and milestones, and in theory it should be able to solve our water solution. And so we really tried to find other alternatives that were equally as viable, but could actually have a timeline, a budget attached to them, an actual project with goals that are executable now, so that we can just look at all of the options we have in front of us before we decide what's really the best course of action.
So this is the first time that you've done a documentary that is environmentally activist.
Sure.
You've done nonfiction.
Yep.
You've done corporate
Yes.
storytelling, where you've interviewed people in corporations, that
Sure.
kind of thing. Can you tell us a little about that part of your business?
Yeah, so one of the things I think is a really strong skill set for me is that I'm very personable and I'm very good at a naturalistic style of filmmaking. I come from kind of narrative filmmaking is my passion. That's what I'd always seen myself doing. And when I started to do this for a living, as business, I found that there was a good niche for me in these kind of personal mini documentary style corporate communication pieces where it gives the companies an opportunity to give a very personal communication with their customers. It's not just the direct salesy marketing style piece that tells you everything about the product and mentions the price point over and over again that you see on the commercial. Instead, I really have always tried to make it a much more personal approach where I will sit down like we are today and just talk with my subject and really try and communicate their passion for what it is that they do, and maybe a little bit about their history, a little bit about their personality, and then I do extensive editing to be able to make that into that kind of cohesive mini documentary piece that you end up with. And I think that that really taught me how to approach a project like this, where it was a lot more freeform. We had an idea of what we were trying to do, but we didn't have a script. I mean, we didn't know what the people who we were going to be interviewing were going to say, and we knew the subjects that we were going to cover, but a lot of it came down to the experience of the journey of trying to put together that cohesive argument in a short period of time, and really gave them the opportunity to be able to have that very tight cohesive argument, and then also me the opportunity on the editing side to be able to shape it into one overarching film.
Chris McGilvray here, talking with me, Nada Milkovich, for Artist on Art. So Chris, I think that's the big difference between fiction, filmmaking, and documentary making, where there is no script. The documentary process involves, like you're saying, the discovery.
Definitely.
And then putting the script together.
Sure.
Although the questions that you ask are going to lead possibly the story right. In a way.
Sure.
As a documentarian, you
Sure.
want to ask the questions that you're hoping to get the answers
of course.
for. But in any case, I wish you the best of luck. Thursday, at what time do you think the movie?
So it's 7 o'clock doors. It's a 7:30 show. We're going to have 3 other films that are also going to be screening. There's some musical acts. We actually have presentations from everybody who's in the film. There'll be Q&A with the filmmakers, and then also all the talent involved. And so it should be a very fun and informative evening. So if you're interested in the desalination plant and our water supply issues, you're looking for anything that would kind of explain a little bit about the bigger picture there, but then also entertain you, should come on down.
I will.
Awesome.
And I invite everyone else out there
Yeah.
this Thursday, July 11th at 7 o'clock open doors at the Rio Theater on Soquel and Seabright. Chris, again, tell us the name of your movie.
It's called Water for Santa Cruz.
Water for Santa Cruz.
Water for
and
Santa
the
Cruz.
teaser is on.
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Yep.
I'll embed it in our post for today's show. And
You can just go on YouTube and search for Water for Santa Cruz trailer.
great. Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
thanks a lot. Thanks
Yeah.
for your work.
Well, thank you so much, Nana. It was such a